What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video for New Biology Clinic. I wanted to just touch on something that I'm going to do a longer video on for the members at the website. Yeah, so we're going to dive deeper into it. But what that thing is going to be talking about the connection or the deep frontal line for the fascial system that runs all the way from the feet up to the tongue, and how, again, anything along the path can affect things along the way. So understanding and recognizing that this fascial line, this deep frontal fascial line or core line, begins at the flexor digitorum longus, which essentially what that is the tendons and muscles that relate to the bottom of the foot, where plantar fasciitis is. It runs in this very perfect path with the toes. The fascia and or the tendons also work in that way, working through up through the back of the leg, behind the kneecap, into the inner thighs, going into your hip flexors, your what people call the hip flexors, those muscles. They move up into your quadris laborium. It goes into your diaphragm through that chest cavity, that that sternum, the cavity within the sternum, through the diaphragm, up through the trachea, up into the base of the tongue, and then ultimately the tongue. That fascial line is one long connection. And again, I'm just giving a quick brief overview. Again, I'll dive deeper in when we go to do it at the clinic in the next year. But why I want to bring this up is because where we are with our feet can have an impact on what's happening at the hip flexors due to this specific fascial line. But at the same token, where we are with our tongue, holding our breath, tensing our face, can impact where then our tongue sits in our mouth. And it can then reposition and have an effect going down into the hips. So this is why a lot of times those of you who worked with me or work in the classes, when we are doing these things, I'll say, relax the jaw. As we're moving, I need to keep this relaxed. Right now, we're trying to relax it. Not that you can't create tension here, but we don't want to over stress this area that many of us already do have overstress for whatever the reasons are. If you're grinding your teeth, you hold tension, clench when you're stressed out. You gnaw on one side of your mouth because it's a tick or whatever the case is. It's a coping mechanism. These things can, again, directly impact down from base of the chin, in the jaw, in the tongue, through the neck, into the diaphragm, into, again, midsection, torso, hip flexors, and cause a huge amount of pain, then all the way down into the legs, into the feet. And if that is the case, and if you're someone who holds a lot of tension here, recognizing, hey, that might be the place I need to start looking when it comes in relationship to the pain I have in my hip. And this is why when we can do these deeper dives, we can start to see that just going to a place where there's pain may or may not be how we can resolve what's going on. But we also always have to keep in mind that we have to look at everything within you. And so when you're working with somebody or places and they're only looking at one location and they haven't explored the rest of what's going on in your body, there's a good chance that they are going to miss something, or we're going to miss something, or you're going to miss something. And that's where I want to just give you all hopefully the seed of recognizing, okay, I have noticed maybe that I do grind my teeth a lot, or I do clench my jaw a lot, and it makes my jaw uncomfortable. I have tension in my neck, and being able to then have the wherewithal to go, okay, I can see how that might have an impact on the rest of my body. Or, hey, when I'm on my feet, I'm collapsing at the arch. And I'm not saying you need to have crazy high arches all day, every day, but if it's always in this collapsed state, I can see how that's affecting then the back of my knees. I can see how that then is affecting my hips. I can see how that's affecting my lower back. And allowing ourselves, when you then go into do physical movement training, whatever you're doing, doesn't matter if you're doing really complex things or very simple things, you're going, I'm moving with intention. I'm moving with a purpose. Me doing this relaxing of my jaw and gentle movement of my jaw is the training that my body needs. So it doesn't need to always be up here for it to be effective and successful. And again, I'm not saying just doing that is going to fix everything for everybody, but that might be the thing that is missing in your training program or whatever it is that you're doing. So being able to recognize, and I have done a video, a webinar on the fascial lines and just breaking it down, talking about a little bit more, how to move through them, how that one being stronger or more compensated than the other, how that impacts not just those slings or those fascial lines, but it can affect the rest of the body. And then this is just another one that we can dive into specifically because I do know, and I work with a lot of people who hold a lot of tension in their jaw. And seeing that there is a correlation to the tension in their hips, there is a correlation to the tension in their lower back, behind the knees, etc. So I just wanted to do a little video diving into this. If you haven't looked into it or heard about this deep frontal line, it is worth checking out. If you are going, this is too much for me, it's too complicated, I don't know where to look, I don't know how to really do this research, you can always, again, come to the webinar. We'll be holding one in January, most likely, for this specific topic, where we're going to dive deeper into it, talk about things that we can do, paying attention to what you're experiencing in your body as we do talk about it. And then hopefully down the road, you'll be able to incorporate more of these things, catch it in real time. So you're not holding on to that tension. You're not wondering what's going on. You're going to go, I recognize what's happening. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's my action plan. And then there, before you know it, everything is moving better, hopefully moving in the right direction in general. And you can hopefully sleep and rest easy knowing that I am listening to the communications of my body because I recognize it more than just this is the knee, this is the shoulder, this is the back, this is, this, and they're separate things. No, it's all one and it always will be one. And we just have to know how to connect the dots. So much love, everyone. I'll see you guys hopefully at newbiologyclinic.com. If you don't, come watch these videos. They're open to the public. So anyway, have a great day, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.